All right, guys, what's up? Now, it's been a while since I've done a video because honestly, I'm completely black pilled with the whole fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing is insane. I'm basically to the point where it's like, okay, the people that are in power, whether they're elected or not, are just going to do whatever the fuck they want, and we're just basically chickens to them. Right? We lay eggs in the form of taxes, they come and collect it, and basically they allow us to be alive. That's basically where we're at. And it doesn't matter if you elect Trump. It doesn't matter if there's an authoritarian, in power. Of course, it matters in the difference. You know what I mean? If you live in Iran or in North Korea, then your life totally sucks, right? Completely. I get it. There is a difference. But all in all, it comes down to the same thing. It doesn't matter who you elect. It doesn't matter what you do. Basically, you're there to pay taxes and try to enjoy your own life as much as possible. And for the rest, just shut the fuck up. That's basically the idea. Donald Trump proved that to us. I was completely on Donald Trump's side. I'm still on Donald Trump's side because I want him to succeed. It's just right now he's not, causing me to be completely black-pilled. And so I was kind of like, what's the point? What's the point of fucking making videos, talking about stuff? But some stuff, I guess there still will be a reason to discuss. And like, okay, let's take a look at the Iran war. That's what I want to talk about today. So the Iran war, everybody's having trouble coming up with something that will be beneficial to us because of this Iran war. What are we going to get out of this? Well, not much, right? Not much. It's going to cost you millions of taxpayer dollars. It's going to cost the whole world a shitload of extra money trying to get gas and maybe food, depending on how long this shit goes on. It's going to bankrupt a bunch of people, and it's going to be all out horrible for most people in the world. That's mostly what war does, right? But here's the one upside. And to me, this is a pretty big upside, okay? I'm against basically all authority, right? I would rather live in a world where I am my authority and that's it. No higher power above me that telling me what I can do, what I can't do, how fast I can drive, what I can smoke, what I can drink, what drugs I can use. I don't want that. I don't want to live like that. I hate it. I hate it. You know what I mean? And so yes, because there is no place like that. If you're going to choose, you would rather live in a Western country. But these Western countries are becoming more and more totalitarian every day. And like I said, it doesn't really matter who you elect. It just seems like that's not going away. That's the trend in which we are traveling, or the direction in which we're traveling. So, but here's my take on Iran. I hate authority, but I hate even more authority based on some sort of ideology. And to me, whether it's Christian, Catholic, Muslim, Islam, it all doesn't matter. They're all ideologies. They are all ideologies that the people who follow the ideology are making decisions in their lives based on something that is not rooted in reality, right? That to me is extremely dangerous. Now, we have seen when ideologies get power over a population, that's always been a bad thing, right? And the Christians can jump up and down and say, well, no, we're all about love and peace and love thy neighbor and blah. No. If you remember, well, you don't because you weren't alive, but according to all the history, when Christianity or Catholicism had political clout, they did horrific shit. Witch burnings, Inquisition, etc., etc., etc. They did horrific shit. And within their own realm of power, they also do horrific shit, i.e. the Catholic Church and the pedophile shit, right? Basically, if left up to them to solve that problem, they go, well, we're not going to solve the problem. We're not going to turn in the pedophile priest and make them suffer a lifelong in prison. No, we're just going to move them to another country or another church or another parish in order to allow them to continue to abuse kids. That's their solution. See, ideology clouds the mind. Ideology, I'm not on board with any ideology. And the most dangerous of them all is this extreme Islamism ideology. Those people should not have power over anyone else except for the people that subscribe to the ideology. I always use the Scientology analogy. The reason why I am not frightened of Tom Cruise is because if Tom Cruise comes to my door with his big fucking gold medallion on and says, you've got to do this or you've got to pay me that, I can just laugh in his face, go, fuck you, Tom Cruise, and slam the door shut and nothing will happen to me because Tom Cruise doesn't have any power over me. He's not a cop. He's not a politician. He's not an elected leader. Fuck Tom Cruise. So I'm fine with Scientology because the only people they control under their insane ideology, which doesn't make any fucking sense at all, is the people that subscribe to the ideology willingly. That's the only power any ideology, yes, sorry Christians, including you, can have, in my opinion. They can have power over the people that willingly subscribe to their bullshit. Okay? And in Iran, that's not the case. These people are using extreme Islamic ideology to oppress and fuck over their own people all day, every day. And certainly, I don't want them to have a nuclear weapon. And there's the argument. But they weren't going to make a nuclear weapon because the DNI said so. And I don't care. I don't know that. The only way I know that an extreme ideology like them is not going to get a nuclear weapon is if they are blown off the face of the earth, and that's just tough shit. I would rather guarantee my survival than risk it and say, well, maybe they won't develop a nuke. Maybe we can trust them if they say they're not going to do it or what. I don't care. Fucking get rid of them. That's how I look at it. Not because it would be totally different if it was not an ideological government, right? Then I would look at it differently. In this case, they have proven that their ideology is murderous, oppressive, regressive. It's horrible. It's horrible. I would never want to live under an Islamic ideology that has power over me. Ever, ever, ever. And I don't want them to get any nukes because, look, they could probably use them. People that live under an ideology and don't look at reality, but rather base their decisions off some fucking mystical story that they choose to believe, even though there's no evidence for it, right? That is dangerous. And those people shouldn't have power, not in Iran, not in our countries, nowhere. So, in my opinion, would I have voted for Donald Trump to go start a war in Iran? No, probably not. On the other hand, now that it's happening, if the result is that this ideological regime is wiped out completely, and Iran gets a more realistic, non-ideological group of leaders, I'm like, okay, it was worth it then. Right now, it's too early to tell, isn't it? Right now, it's too early to tell. And if you base it off past wars, basically what America does is they go start fights with everybody, they go start problems with everybody, they play the world police, and in the end, the shit turns out to be more of a disaster than it was before they started. And yet still, I can tell myself this is okay because they are damaging the ideology. And that's a good thing. And who else is going to do it? Now there's a second piece. Apparently, we're giving these ideological fuckers control over the Straits of Hormuz, which apparently is a big oil transport hub, right? So that's not good. That's not good. I don't like that. Look at what happened. They can basically, what they've proven with the Iran war is that Iran can basically say, if we don't like something, we're going to shut down the Strait of Hormuz and only let the ships through that we want to let through or not let anybody through. That makes my gas here in Germany cost a fucking shitload. You think you're hurting in California? Give me a break, okay? It's horrific. Now, why should I suffer this short-term pain for long-term gain? Why should I suffer that? I don't want to suffer that. So again, it proves that ideological zealots in control of the lives of other people leads to bad things. So I don't want them controlling the Strait of Hormuz, and I would like America to do something about that immediately. Now, what usually happens is America goes in, It takes 20 years of fucking around, and basically they leave the shit in the same state it was before, and nothing really changes for the people that live there. Nothing really changes about the control that's been given. So if the end of this war does not result in a ousting of the ideology in Iran as power, right? And the taking away of the control of the Straits of Hormuz, then it was basically fucking useless, right? It was useless. But if it results in those two things being solved, then okay. Because also, who else is going to do it except for America? Let's also be realistic, right? Yes, Donald Trump ran on no new wars. Donald Trump ran on a lot of shit that isn't being done. That's why I'm black-pilled. That's why I'm like, even Donald Trump either can't get it done, doesn't want to get it done, and my only hope is that he is waiting until the midterms to finally put the hammer down and actually get shit moving within America. That will save it for me if that happens, because he's trying to calculate, like, okay, if I start doing this right before the midterms, will be fresh in people's minds and they'll vote for the Republicans? God, I hope so. But if the midterms are lost and Trump can't do anything else, or if the midterms are won and Trump doesn't do anything else, right? No accountability, still no accountability, still no accountability for anything. More wars, more fighting, no better economics, nothing. Then basically Donald Trump is a failure. And that might be his own choice, or it might be because of the circumstance of the system that we are living under, right? The system might be just too broken. Either way, it's blackpilling to me. But if we focus on the war in Iran, and a lot of people, like I said, are having trouble deciding, is it good, is it bad? Hey, if it's going to take out an ideological, I would have the same feeling if it was Christian nationalists running the show in Iran. I would be like, no, get rid of those fuckers. Get rid of them. Because ideologies that gain power over populations always do the wrong thing if you look at history. Always. So they got to go. And I'm all for that. They got to fucking go. Okay? And I don't care if Israel benefits from it or not, or all that shit doesn't matter to me. Yes, I do think Israel is controlling America for whatever reason. It's insane. But they obviously have control over some shit within America and the decisions that America makes about its policies. I don't like that. It's got to go. But I'm not going to say, well, because Israel benefits from it, they shouldn't do it. I think that if it results in the Straits of Hormuz being under Western control somewhere, preferably America, at this point, right? Then, and this ideological nutcase regime being ousted from the area, that's okay. That's okay with me. I'm cool with that, right? I'm cool with that. And that fact that we won't get any other benefits except those, no nukes for Iran, no ideological zealots in power, and the Straits of Hormuz being clear and open for control under Westerners, then that's what we get. That's the long-term game. And I'm all right with that. I can live with that. Okay? I can live with that depending on how long it takes. Right? And look, you've got this idea. What I'm trying to say here with the ideology thing, you've got this shit going on in America too. I mean, some fucking, I think it was a military guy was talking about, well, Donald Trump was anointed by God to start this shit in Iran, to propagate to start the return of Jesus to Jerusalem. Look, fuck off with that shit. Fuck off. I don't know the exact text and shit. You can look it up, right? That's their military strategy, right? According to one military person. I don't know if they're going to follow that strategy. I don't think so. But hearing people that are in positions of power talk like that makes me nervous, and I want them out of power immediately. Christian nationalists that want America to be a Christian nation under the way they feel like Christians should live, no, fuck that shit. Because I'm not Christian, right? Now, I don't live in America currently, but I could, right? My family still lives there, and I don't want any Western country being run by religious zealots. Keep your religion to yourself and the people that subscribe to it. Doesn't matter which one it is. No political power for you. That's my mantra. And so, if the Iran war results in that, even if it results in just putting a dent in their religious zealotry, then I guess I'm all right with that. And I think that a lot of people should view it through that lens. So there you go. Gives you something to think about. I know a lot of Christian people and Catholics and all that shit are going to hate it. I don't fucking care. Okay? I just don't care. That's your problem, right? That's your problem. All right. So that's my first video back in a while, or back after a while of being gone. And you might be seeing more as the days and weeks continue. So, all right, guys, do with it what you wish. We'll talk to you later.